a colleague of Matt's invited us to a concert of ancient Chinese bells.
A full face mask already. All of the gloves are basically on the floor, scattered throughout the clothing section there.
And I'm starting this new job, this new chapter of my life, and I don't want those to blur. And it's all from pretty much one store.
And I remember after that brunch, and it was just insane. We were like,
and I was like, huh.
And I went to the CVS Minute Clinic that day.
And like hit Whole Foods and Target and Aldi.
And so I had to keep calling them. And so we had like a 2-year supply that lasted us longer than we expected.
And so we spent less money.
And so we were generally just frustrated because we're like, this is part of our schedule. Everybody else is just being extra. And so we were trying to get hot tips.
And then at work, and then I show up to the OSU stadium. And then like a week or two later, they were like, all right. And take it in the house to wash it.
And that kind of stuck with me because I had colleagues that were getting sick around that time.
And then put the rag in a bag.
And we basically closed the bar down. We're like at karaoke. And then it was like the next day. And we keep Lysol wipes or Clorox wipes in the house. So it was time for us to re-up on all that stuff. And we were at a bar, like for now in my mind seems like an extremely long time.
At work, it's work, and at home, I can unwind.
Because it was like the next day, everything changed. It was like we literally were like at Fish Market, and then we went to like a neighborhood bar, and like
because they forgot a box in September of 2019.
Because we were like, I can't believe this is like a real thing.
Bought a ton of canned goods, but after like a week or two, but I don't even remember any of that but it's because we've completely changed our buying habit.
But it was like one ply.
But I was charged for this stupid box that's floating out there somewhere.
But Menards definitely did not have toilet paper. And I think that's when it was slowly settling in that.
But older people who don't really understand computers have to figure out Zoom.
But this doesn't feel right.
Because I don't know where the next round is coming from.
Because we don't really do a pantry.
Don't forget that I'm missing a box. During COVID, like the beginning days of COVID, like
everybody started talking about like the toilet paper shortages on the news and whatnot.
Everything is still pretty well stocked in there because no one goes to Tractor Supply.
Everything was canceled.
Except the gloves.
For my first day of work, and I barely get like the computer and stuff hooked up. And I'm like, well, I should probably take this home just in case I can get used to it or whatever.
45 wasn't making it any better in terms of like preparedness.
For some reason, I needed to like have the basic minimums just shelved.
Get it to me someday. God, there were people here touring for this ancient Chinese bell chorus.
Grocery stores were already empty, and I go to Tractor Supply.
Had fun, and then like the next day after that, it was like my wife was working from home. Here we are. I Am Legend. It was like very weird.
I bought a bunch of stuff just in case I knew would last.
I can't even get a hold of my boss.
I decided that we were low on groceries, but we needed to try to stock up on a bunch of stuff. I didn't really have a good mask at that time. I had this like hood.
I don't know if I'm supposed to go in or not. I don't know why it stuck in my head, but they were from the Hubei province.
If you feel safe working from home, or if you don't feel safe coming to work, you can work from home.
I gotta go stock the shelves.
I have conflicting memories.
I had like 6 rolls of toilet paper at the beginning, and I still have 3 of them. I have never done that in my life.
I have to go walk through a store. Like, I can't do this on the internet. Like it.
I kind of cheated.
I knew the whole COVID thing was happening, but I was like, I've got, I'm dealing with this.
I don't know. That's it. I mean, hell, I had to figure out how to use Zoom.
Yeah.
I'm staying home because that's what like the top officials are saying.
I need to just walk around and decide what my belly tells me I want to eat.
I really was like, oh, okay, well, this is going to be like...
I remember feeling like I had to go stock up.
I remember March 6th, like 5th and 6th, like it was my mom's birthday weekend.
I remember there was a time when Simon was like, why did you just spend all this money on food?
I should probably go out there. I thought it was going to be kind of like, SARS or Ebola.
It becoming more and more serious.
It's all over the place.
It's a little frustrating. It's been almost a year since I've been at the office.
It seems like some simulated situation was going on.
It got out of control real fast.
It's hard to believe it's been a year.
It's just gotten weird, so I just feel like I have to go do it too. It's never all the way down to nothing before we go to the grocery store anymore, and I'm still doing 3 weeks at a time usually because
Not that I need it.
It's really changed the way we do groceries. I mean, because we stocked up so much.
It was a really nerve-wracking experience. It was like a separate hood that could draw string, and
it was like it happened all of a sudden.
It was a weird experience. I've never felt like that in my life.
It wasn't in the media, but then all of a sudden it was.
It wasn't official until that first day of work. It was weird to have food for an extended period.
I wanted to put together a kind of a chemical suit.
I want to eat something different. And I'm like, I need to walk in a store.
I was doing a lot of work from my church because that was the closest place that had a decent internet connection. I was not sure if I was still going to be videotaping for work. I was like,
I've watched older people have to figure out how to use Zoom.
I wonder if Aldi's is clear. Kroger, Walmart, or basically all the big stores, they were picked clean.
Like a couple rolls at a time. I remember
like what people going through a hurricane feel like.
Mucinex is what they gave me. My belly's opinion is pizza. We can do that every day. My belly is not very astute in its opinions.
My memory goes back to November because we had been.
My mom and my mother-in-law, they were like scavenging for us for toilet paper. My mom had found some toilet paper. It was like Scott's.
My office was a ghost town. It was only like 10 of us there. Everybody else was working from home. My whole thing is that like I was leaving this job that I had for 10 years.
Ohio started making announcements.
Oh, I wonder if it was already going around.
One day in March, I was like, all right, I guess I'm going.
One of the biggest things that stood out.
LSU's like, don't come back to campus if you don't have to.
Pack of 4 rolls of toilet paper.
People are just ripping through the shelves. Like
people hadn't heard of it before. Like it was like this thing like people were talking about.
Pretty much the first story that I can come up with was,
right?
So all I needed was a rain suit. So I drove over to my local Tractor Supply. So I kind of raided the janitor's closet.
So that like if we have to stop at the gas station, we can pull out a rag and like use the pump.
So it was in my head from December on.
So I'm like sitting there, I'm like, well, I'm more productive at work.
Something is going on that is not like the old days, like what we're used to. Like,
so that's what happened when I first heard about it.
So I went over to Aldi's and they had like a couple things of toilet paper. So I was like, all right, here we go. Speaking of the toilet paper, spent a ton of money.
So yeah, that was
steal a monitor and take it home and take our laptops home one day to test if we could take calls at home. That's what lasted me through the first search.
The one thing was that we had less than we should have.
That I am at home and I like the separation of space. They started talking about like COVID protocols and stuff.
There, now maybe I'm unmuted.
There was other events that happened up until that point that these different locations were just a pack of 4.
Thinking this is bad and this isn't going away.
This can't be real.
This empty building had 300 rolls.
This is going to be like SARS and this is going to happen for a couple months. And this is very, very interesting, I guess. This seems like, like virtual reality.
to get like an inhaler and
Trying to go to Menards and get toilet paper because there was no toilet paper anywhere else. And we were like, well, Menards definitely is going to have toilet paper. Virtual things, and
We buy, we eat, and then we buy more.
we didn't take serious.
We don't even buy paper towels. We don't buy wipes. We don't really stock up. We don't really have a thing where there's just like canned goods and box non-perishable items.
We get texts from the person who's picking our order, and we have to go, no, the bread we want is in the frozen aisle.
well,
So you better
I
get
had
it.
bronchitis the day that it was announced. Well, I guess I'm just here because nobody told me what to do.
It was actually at the end of our cycle when we like read up on toilet paper and paper towels, and
But we were actually pretty lucky all the way around there too, because we're buying completely different food for the most part.
We're curbside.
we're like, what are we going to do? Because we had no idea.
We're spending a little bit more money per week. We still have like a giant bag of rice that we haven't made it into yet.
We usually have this type of thing under control, and we'll be back. And
We've got rags. We've only bought one roll of paper towels in like 10 years.
we were bartering for like, we were borrowing toilet paper, not borrowing, but we were like getting toilet paper from other family members. Like,
We were like giving people stuff, and
we were going to like corner stores to get overpriced packs of toilet paper for just 4 rolls, like that type of thing. We were like, what are we going to do? This toilet paper is not good. Like, why do they sell this one-ply toilet paper? Like, what's going on?
We were soaking bits of this ripped up sheet in antibacterial stuff so that we could wipe down everything.
We went to a friend's birthday brunch. We would make lists of stores that carry toilet paper and go and scavenger hunt.
What happened to the gloves?
When the news reports and stuff first started coming out,
When they started talking about Wuhan and it being in the Hubei province,
whereas before we would drive places.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, I went out at like 8 a.m.
Yeah, it was like bad timing. It was like such bad timing.
You have to know what you want and search for it.
You know, doing our thing as normal, and I'll be having my coffee and lunch meetings and all of those different types of things, and it'll be fine.
where it's something that, they talk about in the news for like a month or two, and then it just kind of vaccine, 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 vaccine,
In those days, we walked on the beach. We walked hand in hand. The water kissed the tops of our feet. She would always squeal a little from the cold temperature of the water. Today is like any day just trying to get by. Sun shines through the window. Birds chirp beautifully, but obsessively. The trees all glisten in the light of the day and mask the dread of going outdoors. Clicking away in front of computers. We sit 5 feet apart. Work keeps us busy and ignoring reality. In the quiet moments, I realize how fragile everything is, and the nauseousness returns. Tonight, we will walk through our quiet urban neighborhood. Discussion of creative ideas will fill the air. Hopefulness dismissal will bury our hidden uncertainty. We laugh and hold on to the idea that we are not dead yet. So there is still time